We welcome you? Yes, we welcome you. Welcome to Voices of Courage. We took a little break last week. Thursday was because somebody has to go for staycation, and it wasn't me. Okay, somebody has to go on staycation and look down on the public. Okay, and it wasn't me. Okay, welcome to Voices of Courage. My name is Anita. I'm one of the partners for Class Living, and I'm going to introduce my friend there who is bright and chirpy. Tell us who you are, Madame.
Hello, Anita. Right, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back on our channel, Voices of Courage Asia. I am Lillian, and yes, Anita and I, we are partners at Class Living and Women of Courage Asia community. So both are women empowerment platforms that inspire and empower you to live a life of courage and significance.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, we simply just sharing tips and strategies and practical, tools and know-hows that you can apply immediately to make a small change, just a small needle change, and that will help you to move towards a greater change in your life. So it's all about changing the lifestyles of habits, right, and mindset shift. So yeah, so we have been sharing based on the Courage Blueprint. It is a framework. It is a blueprint looking at 9 domains of your life, using 3 steps process, the 3 A's. I've coined the 3 A's, the awareness, attitude, and intentional action, right? And
Yep.
we also cover the 7 critical core values, that we anchor our lives on. We do everything in life with class, plus
Yes.
2, the other 2 core values. So we are covering these 7 core values. So we have come to the 5th one, which is significance.
Significant.
Yeah, it's a big word, but
Yes.
and of course, within this half an hour, we definitely cannot cover everything that we want to talk about or address in the realm of significance. But we will just cover probably 3 things,
Okay.
3 areas that we will have this conversation about. And I love what John Maxwell, if you have read his book, 21 Laws of Leadership, right? And one of the law is the law of significance. Yeah, the law of significance. And what does the law of significance says? Quote John Maxwell. He says that 1 is too small a number to achieve greatness. The law of significance says that 1 is too small a number to achieve greatness.
What does that mean? What do you mean 1 is too small of a number?
Yeah, achieving greatness. If you have ever had a big dream and that dream scares you, because you know in your heart of hearts that it's not going to. You can't achieve that just by yourself. There's no way you can
Okay.
do it alone. Yeah. So you
Okay.
need a team. You need a team to achieve this great idea, these great dreams that you have, and making an impact. Yeah, it starts with 1, but
Yes.
that's why I like what he mentioned about, when he talked about you. I don't know whether you have heard this saying by some people, when they're very successful, and then
Mhm.
they say, "Oh, I'm a self-made man or self-made woman." Have you heard of this phrase that they are self-made? Very
Is it?
successful.
Tell me the ingredients you need, because I just finished cooking pasta sauce. Tell me the ingredients. Garlic, onion. What are you made of?
What is the
Self-made.
secret of a self-made man?
Yeah. What is the secret? Tell me.
Yeah, and I like how he answered to that. His answer to that, I thought that was like, wow.
Mhm.
He said this: if you made everything yourself, you haven't made much. You get that?
If you made, okay, I repeat for those who cut my hair, right? If you made everything yourself, you haven't made much.
Much. Wow. I mean, when I heard that, I was like, whoa, that
So
is
it
one
shows.
you want to tweet about.
Yeah, I mean, it shows, right? I mean, there's a saying, "No man is an island." We need a team. You want to go far, you grab a few, that kind of thing. So
You
it's
want to go
true.
fast, you go alone. You want to go far, you go, with
So
the team. Yeah. Mm.
yeah, so I feel that the law of significance here says that one is too small, and it means that can I say that we need a team. We need people. If
Yes.
absence will go, we may need allies, right? That can flow with us, that believe in the same crazy dream that we have. That
Yeah.
hopefully we can achieve greatness, right? Or
Yeah, but
significance.
before we go into the team, before we talk
Yeah.
about the team, let's come back to the self, the self first. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, it may sound contradicting because like we've been talking about self leadership, talking
Yeah.
about
Yeah. Yeah.
working on yourself, and then now here why suddenly you say that, oh, one is too small a number to achieve greatness,
Yeah.
so how does this all ties in? Yeah. So yes, you definitely need a team, and we're going to talk about that later. But first,
Okay.
we want to address the self. So we still
Yes.
come back
First.
to the self, right? Because
Yes.
the blueprint is all about working on yourself first, right? Before you even talk about the team.
Yep.
And there are two things that we want to talk about the self. So yeah, total three things we're going to talk about today. Yeah. So first thing is about uh, just now we talk about self-made man, right? And yeah,
Yep.
have you ever experienced this? Like, you want to do everything by yourself. You want to do everything yourself because maybe you feel that there's many reasons why people want to do everything themselves.
Okay.
Mm,
Why do people want to do things faster? For me personally, I find it's faster.
it's faster.
It's
Okay.
faster.
What
Um,
else?
it's sometimes okay. You're gonna go to number one now. Okay, I just about to blyer that I saw your first point. Sometimes you just don't want that feedback. So if you make a mistake, right? If you make a mistake,
Mm,
uh, nobody saw the mistake lah. Then you can cover your own mind the language, cover your own behind, right? Cover your own backside. So I think it goes to the first point. It's insecurity.
yeah, I think okay. Yes. There was one illustration that he gave when about the teamwork and about
Mm-mm.
ideas about self, right? Okay, you mentioned insecurity. Now, when do people feel when an insecure person, right, may not be so open to share their ideas? Let's say, for example, I have an
Okay.
idea right now, a great
Okay.
idea. I think it's a great idea. Okay,
Okay.
and I if I'm alone, that's just one idea, isn't it? And
True.
you have a great idea too. Yeah, but unless we come together and share our ideas, if we
Yeah.
share our ideas, then how many great ideas will we have?
Yeah.
Two, right?
Phew. Maybe even more. If someone that talks a lot, maybe even more.
Yeah, if we just talk about one great idea, okay? And then
Yes.
we bring another one on board. Maybe we bring five on board.
Yes.
Five great ideas, isn't it? One
Yep.
contributing each. It's just a very simple, so simplified version of illustration about
Yes.
sharing, the benefits of sharing. And
Yep.
only
It's true.
secure people, a secure leader, a secure person um, will be open to share their
Yep.
ideas and not being afraid that their ideas will be stolen. So
Yeah.
insecurity is when like and when people want to like just do everything yourself, they'll keep this idea to myself, me and myself. If I share this idea, they are fearful that people may steal their ideas, right?
Mm.
Or yeah, they may worry about
Yes. Yes.
competition. So insecure people usually, um, yeah, usually disqualify themselves in the
Yep.
area of you want to talk about competition. You actually don't have to worry about that because when they're insecure, when they don't share, eventually. you'll be out of the game. Because
Yeah,
those
it's
who
true.
share,
I
yeah,
mean, I mean, going back and see, great products that we have now. I mean, example, the iPhone, or we are using our Mac now. It started with two guys.
mm,
One was brave enough to share another idea with a friend, and hence we are paying big bucks every time that we upgrade our phone or our Mac. Yeah.
yes,
I mean,
and
I like the ideas of the big guns that are out there, the change makers, they shared their idea with a friend whom they trust, someone
mm,
they trust, or someone they know can probably take their small idea and make it bigger and better. So
yes,
that shows me one thing. If I want to mimic the greats, the way makers, is I got to put away my insecurities,
mm,
because when you're insecure and you have your idea, as you said earlier, if you didn't achieve much, right? If you are a self-made person, you didn't really achieve much. So
yeah.
I like
There's
the
so
fact that
much. There's only so much you
so
could
much you
achieve
can do.
on your
Yeah,
own.
yeah,
Yeah, but if you do it with a team, like
yeah,
the ideas keep building onto it, and
yeah,
then it becomes better, right? It becomes
yeah,
a great invention. Like the example that you gave about the iPhone, right? Yeah.
yeah. So
Number
the
two.
next one, number two, ego. I
What's
don't
the
have
second?
ego. I don't have ego. Ego is not my problem.
Yeah,
But
because yeah, egos. I think the thing about ego is people fear that they don't get the credit. Yeah,
yes,
because
yes,
it's like it's me, I myself. I need to
yeah.
be
I did
recognized. I
it,
need to be acknowledged.
Yeah.
And yeah.
For those people who do not want to share their ideas, and because you have
Mm.
problem with ego, I have a solution for you. It's called patent. Okay, pay money and patent that idea. Then it's all yours, darling, forever yours. Okay, 15 years. Okay, depending on the country of the law. Okay.
Yeah, and people who don't, I think one caution that John Maxwell highlighted was, watch out of the leader whose ego is bigger than their IQ.
Oh, how do you measure that?
Yeah, because I think this statement is quite true.
Hmm.
If if you if you think smart, you think be more open. Your ego is not so big, right? Then
Yeah.
you want to share because when people add on the different layers to your ideas, it
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
becomes better, isn't it? And then,
It's
instead
true.
of this tiny production that you may have created all by yourself
Yeah.
and you get all the credit, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but if it is shared with, a team and
Mm-hmm.
adding on different ideas and not having that ego, so such big ego that, you must have the credit for the outcome. That outcome can be a much better product or impact or a solution,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Yeah. So it's about, like, not being afraid that um it's again on, not necessarily having to take credit for everything. Yeah. So it's something that many will
Mm.
struggle because ego is a big thing. Yeah, we don't
Yeah.
want to downplay it. Yeah, but
Yes, yes.
learning to not let your ego sabotage the progress.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's IQ lah.
Yeah,
I think.
it's actually values, right? It boils down to
Mm,
values, actually. And the next one we're talking about is fear.
mm,
So we covered insecurity, we covered
mm,
ego. Now we're going to talk about fear. What
mm,
Why people do everything themselves.
mm.
Fear, we're not talking, it's a very thin line between insecurity and fear, I feel. Okay. You can be insecure, but fear is sometimes I feel that, oh, this is too big for me. I failed so many times. What makes
Yeah,
you think that?
fear of missing out, right? Fear of
Yeah, fear of
missing
missing out. Yeah, what makes you think this is just another idea? If I put it out there, they might even laugh at me. Come
Yeah,
on.
or you may even fear because you want to do it all by yourself because you have the fear that people may mess up your idea, may not be doing it the
Mm-mm-mm.
way that you want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And but the thing to be conscious or aware about is that hello, even on our
Mm.
own, we are messing up all the time.
Yeah.
Well, we are not perfect, right? I mess up all the time too. Yeah.
Yep.
And let's just all mess up together and get things going. Because if the fear of messing up, if you allow the fear of messing things up, then you will
Mm.
not even step forward at all. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's
And
paralysis. Yeah, that's being you were paralyzed by fear of
let, let may,
taking
may
something.
I add may I add a good example about fear, right?
Ah,
Okay. I'm just gonna tell you this story. This guy called Brian Acton and Jane Kuhn.
mm,
Right, Ukraine guys, no big deal. They bought an iPhone, then they're like, what is it? They had this idea. I'm not going to tell you what the idea is. Okay, these two guys, they bought an iPhone, and they in 2009, and they felt that, hey, nice phone, but something is lacking. So they traveled. They traveled. They were all from the US, okay, but they are Ukraine descendants, migrants to the US, and they
mm,
went to see a friend whom they thought could help. They had an idea about a particular app that could be useful for iPhone in 2009. So they went to a friend, a friend that can do coding and all that. And when they started doing it, there were so many failures. The app they wanted keep crashing and crashing and crashing so many times. I think it's to a point where it crashed maybe over 25,000 times. Okay,
mm,
but they didn't let fear stop them. They
mm.
persisted on, and now we have what we call WhatsApp.
Ah.
Tell me one person who's got a smartphone can live without WhatsApp. I don't know. Tell me that person. I will give them my money. Okay, so yeah, it was almost 25,000. The thing crashed so often that they feel like, forget it. They could have been fearful and say, give up. This may not work. If they did give up, we wouldn't have WhatsApp. And guess
Yeah,
who
I
bought
think
WhatsApp?
this brings to remembrance of Thomas Edison, right? It goes back to
Yeah.
history. He failed so many times,
Yeah.
right? 999 times, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if he gave up, then yeah, of course, then we wouldn't have all these lights going on. So
Amazing, like that. Right.
do not allow fear to
Yeah.
sabotage progress.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. What's the
Yeah.
next point? Why people do everything
Oh,
themselves?
let's talk about fish, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about fish.
Selfishness. Yeah.
Selfishness. Yeah, 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 yeah. My idea is too good. Let me not share with anyone so that they don't want to
So I
share
think
like
this
me.
ties back to some, insecurity
Yeah.
as well. And
Mm-hmm,
yeah. So yeah.
yeah.
How about pride? The next thing yeah, these are some of the things you won't be able to go dive
Yeah, we
uh,
can't deep dive
into every
everything.
point
Yeah.
because time is very limited. So
Yeah.
the next possible things factors that why people do everything themselves is pride.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Also, another reason is
insecurity and pride.
control.
Okay, this one, yeah, this one I can relate a bit. I can relate.
Seriously?
Yeah, because if you want to make sure that everything is
Oh,
done according to your way, you know, and or the right way, or you think is the right way.
okay.
Yeah, and that is very frustrating, and that can sabotage progress as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you know it's very frustrating and very draining, or not, or very tense to work with people who control. It's like control freak. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're talking about the extreme here, right down to the details. So yeah, it can be very stressful to work with people that they are very very controlling.
Yeah. And talking about controlling, one of the quotes, okay, let me read you this quote, okay, and you tell me whether this person is controlling. This quote is by a person in 1939, okay, and this person said, "I'm now 50. I would rather have the war now than when I'm 55 or 60. I'd rather have the war now than when I'm 55 or 60. I'm 50 years old." It was by Adolf Hitler.
Ooh, okay.
Significant. I mean, if I think of an example of a control, a man that wanted ultimate control was Adolf Hitler. And he was saying, when he turned 50, he wanted the World War at the age of 50, no later. He didn't want to wait till he's 55 or 60. And that war actually cost him his life because he committed suicide. He knew he was losing the war. Which brings us to another point.
Mm.
Just like Adolf, he was naive, right? Think about it, right? Why do people do things themselves? Naiveness.
Yeah, I think this point, maybe you want to relate it to about, not having the knowledge or
Yes.
the skill sets, you know,
Yep.
but you think that you have naively,
Example,
innocently.
I think that I can go skateboarding when I have not seen a skateboard.
Yeah. So I think here, we want to be open in receiving
Mm.
trainings. Yeah.
Yes.
That's why we,
Yes.
we upgrade ourselves, right?
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
continue to upgrade and continue to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah. That we don't know everything.
Yes.
So yeah, I can't comprehend a person who has the mindset of like wanting to do everything themselves. Like I know I'm not good at administration, so I don't want to pretend that I can do it well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
True.
it would and numbers, for example, like accounts and all that. Yeah, it would take me a longer time to digest those numbers or even interpret the if I'm not trained in
Yes.
accounts. I wouldn't be able to read the profit and loss, the P&L, the balance sheet. Yeah,
Yes.
and that will affect the cash flow, the finances management
Yep.
of running the business, right? So
Yep.
I
Yep.
must I must not be so naive to think that I can handle that all by myself. Yes, I can get training, or I can engage in an accountant.
Yes. You
And
can
that
outsource.
engage in
Yeah.
an accountant means you're not doing it everything yourself.
Yeah. It's true. I mean, like sometimes I think we got to be humble enough to admit that sometimes we have to choose. We are better off at certain things and let somebody else who's good at it handle so that we can progress faster. Always be like shackles at our feet. Yeah. And the
Yeah.
next one is poor teammates. Human
Yeah.
factor.
People want to do everything themselves because they had bad experience. Bad
Yes.
experiences with poor teammates. Every time you pass them the ball, they drop the ball. Pass them the ball, they drop the ball.
Some don't even catch the
Until
ball. Some people,
or
some
can't,
people don't even catch the ball.
or
You're like,
like,
hello.
what you just what
Huh?
you just did?
What
Oh,
is
you
it?
just touched the ball. Sorry, I didn't know that. I'm
Yeah,
supposed to
you
catch
next
it.
time, please write me a minute and you must suit my timing, okay?
Yeah. I mean, jokes aside,
Yeah, jokes aside, yeah.
having bad experiences with poor teammates does cause people to want to do everything themselves because they think, well, why do I want to delegate this when I can do it better? But that's not healthy. That's not a mindset of a leader because a
Yep,
leader wants to develop people, right? You want to help people to grow. So don't let bad experiences stop you from developing your teammates. Yeah. So if you know that this area may be their weakness, then stop passing this particular ball. Maybe they just need a ladle or something else,
yeah,
instead
yeah.
of a ball. If they can't handle the ball, and handling ball is not their weakness, it's not their strength, then learn to identify the strength of your
Yeah,
teammates so that they
yeah,
won't drop the ball.
yeah. So, which is talking about dropping the ball.
Mm,
Maybe certain job you need the ball.
Mm.
Okay. And how? If that job requires you to handle balls and you're hired because the prerequisite is balls, then training. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Then
That's why
training. Yeah.
we in
But
in in building this community, right? In our community building, um, it's all about leadership training,
yes,
isn't it?
yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Building the community together is all about leadership training, and once you are committed and you come on board, guess what? You must go through the leadership training and mentoring.
It's it's true. I mean, like there is. I mean, I think this season of COVID has is a perfect example about how people are going to reskill themselves, to pivot themselves, because what they thought was a secure job, all it took us was a tiny something tiny, to just make sure everybody changed. I've got friends who could not, cook for their life, and now are selling. They were air stewardess, are now selling nasi lemak, okay, rice, from the back of their truck because they have to survive.
Mm.
So when you have to survive, and then it's just talk about. I mean, I like about this thing called significance and why do people do things themselves. It's really reflective of how, for me, it's one big thing about being honest about yourself, your skill set, being humble, okay, and also these two things for me. It speaks a lot about humility and talking about admitting whether yes I can do it, and also having a very willing heart to say, hey, guess what? I don't have the skill set, but I know I was hired to throw balls, in this company. So let's get some training, okay?
Yeah. So I mean, that's just we are just setting the ground, the stage to talk about
Yeah,
the next thing, because we're talking about significance here, right?
yeah,
So but we want to clear this, get this out of the way first, because there are people who want to do things themselves. Yeah,
yes,
and again, going back to the law of significance, it says that one is too small a number to achieve greatness,
yeah.
right? So name me one significant accomplishment, right? Name one significant accomplishment that was the result of only one person's act. Can you actually name that? Something that is significant, that has created a lot of impact and accomplishment. Was it done by one person? I'm not talking about the idea. It can be a
No, no, no,
person's
no.
idea, but the accomplishment, the act, the work that's being put in, and effort and all that. Can you name one significant accomplishment that was achieved and done by one person's act alone?
No. I personally can't. And I've got another screen here, and I'm Googling simple things like fishing.
Mm.
Yeah, you can go fishing and you catch one fish, may not be enough to feed your family, but you were talking about production, you're talking about feeding the country, feeding the nation. It's a
Yeah.
whole fleet of fishermen will actually go out for weeks at hand to catch something to feed the nation. So
Mm.
I'm thinking of basic needs now, like food, right? Like even farming. Yeah, you have the owner maybe, but come on, you need a whole host of people to get from the grain all the way to the rice in the pot that we need to eat here in Asia, right?
Mm.
Yeah, so I
So
can't think of anything. I mean, if anybody out there can think of something, please, most
yeah,
welcome.
share with us. Just share with us if you can
Yeah,
think
share
of
yours. Yeah,
one huge greatness, great significance, impact that you know of that is done by one solo person's act, effort, and energy, and whatever, that's just done by one person. Yeah. So yeah, when I was posed with this question, I was like I googled, and I was like thinking, okay, so done by one
yeah,
person. Yeah, one, yes, the idea can start from one person. Yes, no doubt about that. That's why we want to go back to the one again,
yeah,
right? Because courage to be you, is all about starting from yourself, right?
yeah,
And to recognize the value and the significance of you
yeah,
contributing to the bigger picture, that will create that significance and impact. Yeah.
Yep.
First and foremost, I personally feel this is my conviction that first and foremost, you must see your own value, that
Yeah.
you are a person of significance. You are a
Yep.
person that can make a difference, that you are unique, you are special, you have
Yep.
gifts in you. You are born, in fact, you are born with gifts in you that will make an impact to the world around you.
Yep.
So that we want to start with that, knowing the value of yourself, the gifts, the strength. Do you know your strength? Many
Mm.
people, during my coaching, that during my coaching sessions with many women, when I ask them to write down their strength, oftentimes it is a struggle. But when I ask
Suddenly
them to write
everybody
down their
becomes so humble, right? Suddenly everybody becomes so humble. No,
yeah,
I
but
don't
when I
have
ask them to write down their weakness, oh my, the list is
20 also not enough.
yeah, they can go on and on and on. I have to stop them.
Yeah. It's true. It's true. It's true.
Yeah, but what happens to when you're listing down your strength?
Yeah.
So something is not flowing there.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what our job is, right? This is what our company, our program does. We help you to discover and uncover your strength, right?
Yes.
So because the belief, the conviction here is you are born with gifts in you.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
you may not be
It's,
aware,
yes.
but they are there.
It's true. I mean, we all have a gift. I mean, sometimes I like what you say, right? Sometimes I think it's time for us women, especially, to put our weaknesses aside. You know, they are there. We have to address them. But I think it's time to focus the attention on the strength that we have, on the gifts that we have. Like I know, right? There's certain things I don't have the gift for. Okay,
Mm.
I'm trained. I train. I force myself to learn. But I know if given a chance, please, somebody else better do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi,
Yeah.
Karen. I'm
Totally.
talking about Karen. Okay. Okay. So the beautiful eye to beautiful things
And
that she can
very
create.
fast, very efficient. I totally agree with that because I
Yeah.
tried. I get myself trained too. I learn. I use
Yeah.
Canva. I learn the different programs. And I watch the different suggestions,
Exactly.
templates, and all that. Yeah, but to put things together and have that artistic creativity, that eye of an artist.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's someone else. If someone has is better than you, then let them excel in
Yeah.
that great gift. Don't
Yeah.
try to
Be
throw
humble and
everything.
let Karen do a Karen. Okay. Let Karen do a Karen. Okay. I mean, Karen is our friend who does
Designer.
amazing designs.
Yeah,
So
she's brilliant. Yeah,
yeah, she is
gifted
gifted.
in that area.
She's
Mm.
gifted. But what I'm trying to say here is let Karen do a Karen, okay? And
And
let
you do
Anita,
you.
yeah, and you do you, okay? But
Yeah.
let's be humble. And then I think it's right. Talking about significance is that, when a group of us come together, you
Mm.
know, Karen may not be able to do what I do,
Mm.
being brave enough to sit in front of a screen and talk may
Mm.
not be Karen's cup of tea, right? But
Yeah.
behind a screen and design is not what I can do. So let
Mm.
Karen do her Karen. So Lillian, what's
Yes.
next?
Yeah. I mean, to further delve a little bit about that is that yeah, same thing. You. I think personally, you experienced that with me. Ask me to come up with the contract or of the accounts and all that. I'll take a long time to cough that
Yeah.
out. Yes, I can get it done, but
Yeah.
not as efficient as to come forward and share a
Mm.
topic that I'm
Yeah.
passionate about. Yeah, I mean, I can.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just in me,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah. So I then recognize our strength. Yeah, and that you are significant because the forest is in the seed. If you get that, the forest is in the seed.
Or in the seed. Okay.
Yes, seed.
Yes. Yes.
SEED. The
Yeah.
forest is in the seed. Your significance and your impact in the world around you is in you. Is in
Yes.
you. Yeah.
Yep.
All the gifts, resourcefulness that the whatever that you need to create that impact and significance in the world around you is in you. Yeah.
True.
We are here to help each other to draw out that. Yeah. To
The
draw that
best.
from you. The
Yeah,
best that we do out.
yeah,
Yeah.
and a tree. You mentioned the word forest, right? So there are many. You need many people around you, okay, to grow that forest. Okay, so please, it's not the power of one here. Okay.
Yes, yeah. So teamwork, again, that's the next thing that we want to talk about, and that's
Yeah.
teamwork. Yeah, because once you work on yourself, once you know that you are not just you want to do everything yourself, that you need a team, and before you do that, everyone is significant, everyone has a gift, and when we
Yeah.
put all the people that all the people that recognize their gifts, their strength together,
Mm-hmm.
wow, that's a powerful team. That's a successful team. A successful team is a team where each player recognize their gift, recognize their position in
Yeah.
where to play their position. I can relate this very well with basketball because I used to play basketball,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I'm short. Okay, I'm not as tall. Yeah. So for
She
my
shot.
so okay, to for those who know me personally, to know that I used to play basketball can be a joke to you even. It's like, what? With her height, how does she play basketball? Where does she fit into the team?
He may be
Therefore,
short, therefore, but she's short, but she's very fast. That's
yes,
why the
therefore I don't
coach
play the
put her there.
center. Yeah, therefore I will never play the center. It's never a position for me. I recognize that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you said, yeah, I may be petite, I may be smaller in size and in height, but I'm faster. So yeah, I can play the forward.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
So, uh, I
knowing
mean,
your position.
yeah, knowing your position, knowing your significance is important because
Yeah.
don't be that team player that pulls down the whole team
Mm,
because of your what we did mention, because of your insecurity, your ego, your fear, your selfishness, your pride.
mm.
So we work in a team. We work, whether we like it or not, we work with a group of people. So
And I like the illustration of a sports.
yes,
Sorry, I have to come back to this
yes,
basketball
okay.
game because it helps to communicate the point.
Mm,
Um, every player, there are five players in the court, right? Every player is gifted in their
yes,
own strength and their own gifts, right?
yep,
Yeah. But if we don't have a common goal, if our role as an individual is so superior that we don't is higher than our goal, if your role is higher than your goal, then the team is not going to win because you are going to be the star. You will strive to be the star, right? You will strive
yep,
to do the shoot and all that.
yeah.
And
You want to do it only by your own.
yes, yeah, you want to outshine everyone or your team members, and so you will not be able to see the opportunity
Yeah,
that your teammates is in favor of scoring.
yep.
Yeah. So
I
one
mean,
very critical point here is to bear in mind that the mission, the goal must be in the priority when it
it's
comes to the team.
it's true, Lillian. I mean, taking you playing in a basketball. Let's say if example, let's say if your goal was I want to score all the points, I want to be the one shooting the goal. It'll be very difficult for your team because you don't have the height advantage. You may have the speed, but your
Mm,
colleague who is two heads taller than you, the
mm.
chances of scoring will be
Yeah,
probably better because you're fast. You can pass it to her fast enough, and
yeah,
she will score for you. But it was your contribution because of your speed that
yeah.
helped score the entire goal. So again,
And it works both way,
yes, yes,
because because my team player, the center or whoever is taller than me, when they grab hold of the ball and they need speed, they do a long pass, and guess who chong?
The short one.
Short
The
one.
short one. The short one.
So we must all be on the lookout of which
Yes.
of our team players are in a better position in favor
Yes.
of scoring, and let that
Yeah.
person lead. Let that person take the lead. Yeah.
Yeah. It's true.
I
It's
mean,
true.
I
I
can go
mean,
on and on and on about this, but
yeah, we can go on about it. But again, when the team wins, the team wins, okay?
everybody wins.
Everybody wins. And
Yeah.
speaking of winning,
Mm.
okay, Women of Courage Asia, for this month of March, we didn't have, we're not having our monthly empowerment meeting because we celebrated our first anniversary last week. Oh, yay. Okay.
And
As
look
you
what we're
see, we're
wearing.
wearing the scarf. So if you like to purchase the scarf, I mean, just go to our website. You can purchase the scarf. There is a bundle you can help, and 100% of the proceeds goes back into the community, into helping a lady in need or another woman in need. Okay. And talking about significance, if you are a pro writing all your weaknesses, okay, and you're a pro at it, you need help. Okay, because you need a clarity session with Lillian to write your strengths. And I think, we need to start living a life of significance. Okay, let's work on victory mindset. That's always I believe in that. It's not about pride, it's about victory mindset. So book a clarity call with Lillian, okay? And
And I just want to add to that you really want to have clarity, because clarity is what helps me to identify my purpose, and
yes,
so when I have clarity, and my purpose becomes very clear. I mean, it's like getting clearer and clearer as we progress in life. Yeah,
yeah,
every season. Yeah.
yeah.
So clarity is super, super critical.
And clarity. Speaking of clarity, we have a boot camp that's coming up. Lillian talks about tell us about how women can find significance and clarity during the
Mm.
boot camp. Share with us.
Yeah, it goes back to our my three A's, the
Yeah,
awareness, attitude, and action, intentional action. So
yeah,
we will work through your thinking, feeling, and choosing. We will be looking into your self-sabotaging patterns. You will understand how the mind, how your mind process information. The psychology of how we process information and emotions, and projection of all the information that we receive. So it's not just knowledge, but there's a lot of experiential activity that you
yes,
will discover, and explore. First, you discover about yourself, which is the awareness part, and then you will explore. You will explore into your attitudes, your mindset, your thinking,
yeah,
feeling, and choosing. And then we're not going to stop there, because we want action, right? The last A is action.
yeah,
So you're gonna set goals, and you're gonna have action plans, and you're gonna bring your dreams and your goals into reality. And that
yes,
is it comes with the support of the team. Again,
yes,
you're not going to do it alone. You're going to have the team support, the buddy support, yeah, to make sure that you achieve your goals. And then that's like over 90 days,
yes,
months. Yeah, we're going to have coaching session with you every month. You're going to have
yeah,
the monthly empowerment meeting with the community. Yeah, so we're not going to leave you alone. Yeah, we're
no,
going to journey together with you to make sure that you break all these self-sabotaging patterns and fears. Yeah,
yeah.
so this is what we are doing with at the boot camp, and it's all happening at Changi Cove, Singapore.
Yes, 16 to the 18th of April is exactly a month away. So go to our Class Living website and then sign up. It's a small investment to change your life and have a life of significance.
Yeah. Yes.
So on that
Yes.
note, we thank you for listening to us. We'll be here again every Tuesday and Thursday at 12:30. So we
Yeah.
see you this Thursday, and goodbye. Okay.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.